Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a great day and welcome to the Tundra Dude 34 YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all your Toyota Tundra news and information. Kind of like today, where we are updating the status of my 2024 Toyota Tundra 1794 Edition TRD Off-Road. If you didn't see the video a couple weeks ago, on my way home from a dealership in Pennsylvania, which is about 2 hours from my house, I had a check engine light pop on when I was about 95 or so miles away from home. Now, normally check engine lights happen, I get it. But because of some of the stories that have been out there about the Toyota Tundra recently over the last couple years, with the engine recall in 22-23, some of the things I see online, seeing the check engine light pop up and some of the warnings that popped up when the check engine light came on had me thinking, oh no, is my 2024 Toyota Tundra having an engine issue where I will potentially need a new engine? So the whole point of this video and the last video was to keep you guys up to date if anything crazy did happen. Spoiler alert, the engine did not blow up and I am okay. But I want to take you through everything that has happened between that day and now, just to show you. It just got back from service. We're still a-okay. So like I said, I was about 95 miles away from home. And all of a sudden I heard a tone, looked down, and I had a check engine light on. I had another indicator saying that my rear sonar isn't working. And then on the left side, the screen was popping up saying that I was having a parking support brake malfunction and check engine. Now, when I saw those two warnings, it made me feel like I was back in the message boards, because that's where people are showing their gauge clusters saying what they saw when their engine blew. And I remember seeing that parking brake malfunction be one of them. So I was like, oh no. So the whole ride home, I was in the slow lane on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, just ready to pull over if I have to. And thankfully it was the morning. There wasn't a lot of traffic. So I was prepared, ready to pull over if anything was about to go wrong with the truck, if it was a catastrophic situation. One thing I will say is the entire ride home, the truck drove fine. It didn't feel like anything was wrong. There wasn't knocking coming from the engine. There was no shuddering, nothing like that. The only way I knew there was a check engine light or a check engine situation going on was because of the warnings the truck was giving me. Now, when I got home, I looked in the 14-inch infotainment screen and it was giving me a couple screens, check engine, and some of the details of the check engine. And it was also mentioning the malfunction in the clearance sonar system. So I was sitting here like, what happened? Like, what happened to this truck out of nowhere? Because everything has been fine with this. Oh, just over 14,000 miles on it now. So later in that day, my friend came over. He brought his scan tool and we hooked it up to the truck to see what the problem is. And the scan tool came back P2C90, crankcase ventilation system hose A disconnected. So I was like, okay, maybe this won't be that big of a deal. We went under the hood. We checked all of the hoses in the area and made sure they were connected. Now, everything was connected, but what I did was I went and made sure all the hoses in that area were snug. I pulled some off, put them back on, made sure the little clips at the end were secured properly, all of that. And then we reset the check engine light. And now from that point up until, well, still going on now, we're still letting the Tundra go through a couple cycles to see if that code and check engine light pops back up. So when I sent it up to service, I let my guy know, hey, this is what's going on. I let him know the code, the whole nine. He told me to make sure I check my gas cap, because that's a way that check engine lights come on a lot. And in New Jersey, this blows a lot of people's minds. You can't pump your own gas in New Jersey. Gas attendants have to pump your gas. So you got to make sure that they tighten the cap. And as you see, with a simple thing coming from a scan tool saying that a hose was disconnected, look at all the warnings I was getting. It was telling me all these different things could be wrong with the truck. So always check your gas cap. But any other state, you're filling your own tank. Here in New Jersey, a couple times they've tightened it and kind of walked away without the click. So I got to make sure that that's something going forward, just so I don't freak myself out with a check engine light because of a loose gas cap. But again, we made sure all of the hoses were good to go. And I've been driving on it about 334 miles now with no check engine light coming back on. The engine has to go through a couple cycles to see if this will pop back up. But anyway, the truck went up for service. While it was up there, I had them take care of the 15,000 mile Toyota Care service. But the truck was just up there recently. The point of this visit was I wanted a tech to look at the truck and see if there's something that I'm missing as far as this check engine. Maybe I didn't see a hose that was disconnected. Tried to look at it from all angles, but at a shop, they have a lift and everything. Just wanted to make sure everything was A-okay, and made sure some Toyota eyes were on it as well. And it basically came back exactly as I thought it would. What the tech said was this. Tech checked for codes, no current codes, no issues found with the hose. Looks like it was tripped when the add-on was added to the vehicle. Now, in case you don't know, over the last few months, I've added the AFE cold air intake, the Momentum GT, but I put that on back in November, so I don't think it would be that. It's been on the truck for thousands of miles with no issue. But in the beginning of September, I added the turbo inlet pipes, all right? So basically, it's an extension of that intake. Now, adding those pipes in early September, and then at the end of September, my light came on, and it was talking about a disconnected hose. So the tech thinks it has something to do with what I added. I thought over the last week it had something to do with what I added. I talked to a lot of people over the last 2 weeks about this situation, and a few of them have had this same exact code with the same exact stuff that they put in. Some of them are cold air intakes, some turbo inlet pipes, things like that. And they got the code, cleared the code, and it didn't come back. So hopefully this was just a one-off trip and I won't see this code again. But if I do, I now know what it is. My engine is not blowing up. We're good right now. The truck is still running tip top, so that's a great thing. But that did scare me a little bit when that popped up. And, you should know that if you're going to put aftermarket accessories on these vehicles, you might get a check engine light. And that's exactly what I expected to come back with this one. And hopefully this was just a quick little thing where it won't pop back up. But again, it could happen. You never know. So far, so good with this Tundra. I still love it. I love the 1794. It does drive great. Everything about this truck, inside and out, I'm a fan. But that did freak me out. And my attention is definitely up because some of the craziness I'm seeing online with some owners out there, what they're going through. So I'll keep you updated on the good, the bad, the ugly, like always. A lot of people have been asking for an update on this, and I was waiting for the truck to go in for service before I mentioned anything. But ever since my friend came over with the scan tool last week, and we were able to see it was a hose disconnected, went under there, tightened everything up, reset the light. So far, so good. I've put 334 miles on it. I think I mentioned that since then. So we'll see if the engine light pops back up, takes a few cycles, who knows how many miles, but I will let you know if anything happens. But that is it for now. In closing, the one piece of good news is this, and I thought about this when I was on my ride home from Pennsylvania that day, thinking this might be the end. I got a 1794 edition Tundra. This is a high-end luxury Tundra. So while I'm waiting for the tow truck, look at all of this comfort and luxury I get to hang out in while I wait. Have a great day.